Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video. We are back with another horror movie review. We are here to talk about the 2007 American action horror film based on the comic book miniseries of the same name, based on the graphic novel. We have 30 Days of Night, a super interesting film. Kind of takes the concept of like a zombie apocalypse and kind of flips it on its head a little bit. And it like only happens once a year, and there's these like vampires. It's pretty cool. It is very cliche, I will say. I'm quite mixed on this film. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's bad, but I definitely don't hold it in super high regard. So we're gonna kind of talk about everything that happened. This will be a spoiler review. Not that there's like any like crazy plot twists that you guys need to pay attention to, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about everything that happened. We're gonna be talking about what people think of the movie, all that stuff. I'm gonna go get some dinner, come back. March Madness is actually going on right now, so I'm taking my March Madness time and I'm talking to you guys. We're gonna make this video real quick. Let's get into it. So, getting into the plot, this takes place in the town of Barrow, Alaska. Now, Ute, some weird name now for it. It was a real town, but they changed it. It's preparing for its annual period of the winter with a month-long polar night, which is pretty much when it's night for an entire month. It's like a really extreme, like, weather condition that happens in certain places in the world. Southernmost regions of the world is really where it happens. It's in Alaska, so that makes sense. So, as the town gets ready, a stranger arrives from a large ship and sabotages the town's communications and transport. So, this is a really weird, really like demented individual. We kind of quickly learn about him as the film goes on. Barrow Sheriff Eben Olson investigates and also learns that his estranged wife, Stella, missed them for last plane out of town and must stay the 30 days. And he kind of wanted to protect her. They are estranged. They're in a weird spot in their kind of relationship. Sorry about that. But, yeah, they're in a weird spot in their relationship, but, you know, he still wants her to be safe. They still have respect for each other and all that type of stuff. So that night, a band of vampires, led by Marlowe, who's like the big guy that you're going to see in the thumbnail, attacks and slaughters most of the townspeople, forcing Eben's family and several other survivors to take shelter in a boarded-up house with a hidden attic. So instead of, it's interesting, it really sets itself up to be like this post-apocalyptic type of film, but it is more of like, it's like vampires, which is really cool actually. Like, I do like it for that. It has a different aesthetic, it has a really dope vibe to it that no other movie can really capture like this. But yeah, Resident Wilson is forced to chase after his amnesic father Isaac out in the open, thus losing both of their lives. I mean, yeah, you care about your father, you cared about your loved ones. It makes sense to go out there. Obviously, it is dumb. It's like kind of one of those horror mistakes that are really stupid. But like it's more respectable in this sense. So, yeah, these vampires are like terrorizing the town, and everyone's kind of like boarded up to. And you can assume if you get bit by a vampire, you turn into a vampire. Again, it's an apocalypse. It's like a virus. I mean, zombie apocalypse movies and movies like this base themselves on like real events, like actual like pandemics and stuff. So stuff like this actually like happens genuinely. It's just not like you're not attacking other people and you're not rabid, but you get what I'm saying. So when the vampires use a civilian as a bait, Eben takes the chance of them torturing her to save a resident named John, who is hidden underneath a hut, injured from trying to protect his wife. However, Eben is horrified to see he has turned and forced to kill him when John tries to devour him. You have to take an axe, hit him in the head. It is just like The Walking Dead. Like, there's a lot of parallels. Obviously, like, ends different ways, and there's really interesting stuff that happens in this movie compared to the other one, and there's a lot of implications to it. But yeah, John's trying to eat him alive, they're fucking cannibalistic vampires, which I'm pretty sure is what every vampire is. And I don't even know if you can call them cannibalistic, because it's not like they're even humans. I don't know. But, in the police station holding cell, Marlowe finds the stranger, who believes the vampires will turn him as a reward for his help. So he's not really a vampire, but they learn very quickly that the reason why he's so weird and he's like kind of going psychotic and he seems like kind of an insomniac almost is or schizophrenic maybe is the term, the disease I should use. The reason why is because he's like he's gone insane because these people, they have him under their like muse or mize or whatever they call it. And yeah, however, Marlowe snaps his neck. oh yeah, Marlowe is the head of the vampires, and he finds them, and he's like acting insane, and he fucking breaks his neck with a quick twist. It's kind of fucked up, but yeah. 18 days later, when a blizzard hits, the group uses the whiteout to go to the general store for supplies, but get stranded after the blizzard ends. So now they have to kind of board up in this place and kind of temporarily station themselves there. So they head for the station while Eben creates a diversion. He's banging on trash cans, running around, trying to get these vampires' attention. And this kind of like draws to like The Walking Dead and like A Quiet Place, where noise kind of influences the creature and sways them to your direction, attracts them, I guess. Sorry, I can't really find the words to use for stuff. So he lures the vampires to his grandmother's house and uses one of her ultraviolet lights to severely burn Marlowe's lover, Iris, forcing him to mercy kill her. And obviously we all know that when vampires are exposed to light, they burn. Yeah, they have super light sensitive skin. So they were like, oh, it's the myth. It's a myth, but let's see, if the movies are real. It's kind of like a funny little reference to Hollywood within a Hollywood type of movie. I don't know if this is even Hollywood, but yeah. So it does burn her. So now they know that light is going to be able to kill these people. There's always a kryptonite to a monster in a movie, or else it's literally no fun. But Eben is aided by Bo, the town snowplow operator, who kills many of the vampires with his tractor, like just driving through them. At least in this case, you can actually like kill these monsters and stuff too. You don't have to expose them to sunlight. But yeah, when he crashes, Bo attempts a suicide bombing to kill the remaining vampires, trying to kind of pull the hero card here. It's kind of dumb why he crashed into this restaurant for absolutely no reason. I guess, again, it was to kind of lure them all to him so he could blow them up, I guess. So, however, Bo and the vampires survive the explosion, and Marlowe crushes his head, which is fucking disgusting. He literally stomps on his head. He's like out in this alleyway. Marlowe finds him and crushes his head. I mean, obviously, these vampires kind of have like superhuman abilities, so yeah. On day 27, so we're getting kind of in the third act, Stella and Eben see the deputy, Billy, signaling them with a flashlight and bring him back to the station after finding out he killed his family to save them from a more painful death. And you can kind of see where Billy is coming from, but like, dude, that is super fucked up to like just put them out of their misery when you're not even, they probably weren't even in that much of danger. They obviously saw the chaos kind of ensuing around them, but like, that is a super fucked up thing to do. Just intentionally murder them. Like, why? I understand if they turn and you have to put them out of their misery, but dude, that was insane to hear. That was an insane kind of revelation. Obviously, Billy disappeared for a while in the movie, but they found him later, and obviously he was in a very bad spot. So, yeah. Oh, what's going on? All right, my friend just texted me something else funny. But the trio find the others have made for the Utilidor, which is a power and sewage treatment station that still has power, and head over there, but are separated after Stella saves Gail Robbins, a young girl whose family was slaughtered by the vampire Zuriel. And even if she was being used by bait, I mean, we're talking about a child here. You kind of have to save a child, and it's obviously taboo in horror films to kill off children, but obviously you have to keep them in mind. So, yeah, Eben and Billy make it to the Utilidor, but are attacked by the vampire Arvin. Billy kills Arvin, but gets bitten in the process. Obviously, if you get bitten, it's going to start the process of turning. Eben is forced to kill him while he starts to turn. So, yeah, put him out of his misery, kind of be the good-hearted civilian. But as the month comes to an end, with the sun due to rise, the vampires prepare to burn the fuel line running through the town, which will cause it to explode and destroy evidence of their presence. I don't know why the fuck they would need to destroy evidence. They're literally superhuman vampires. No one's going to fucking kill them except if you literally chop their head off, which I don't think anyone really has the balls around there to do that. Not even the authorities. But, realizing Stella is trapped and that he cannot beat the vampires in his current state, Eben injects himself with Billy's blood, who is turning into a vampire. So when you inject yourself with blood of another person that has a condition going on, you're probably going to suffer from that same condition. And obviously he wants to do that because he wants to take them on. He wants to have this elevated strength to be able to fight them off, which is a pretty cool thing. It's kind of badass, actually. This is the first horror film I've watched in a long time that genuinely has a pretty badass like fight sequence between Marlowe and Eben. Although it's kind of short lived, it's still really entertaining. Now a vampire, Evan confronts Marlowe and, after a vicious fight, manages to kill the vampire leader, causing the remaining vampires to flee. I mean, when their leader dies, they don't really have anyone else to resort to, so that kind of makes sense. Evan and Stella go off to watch the sunrise together, sharing one last kiss because obviously he's a vampire. He can't revert back to his old form. And yeah, as the sun comes up, Evan's body burns to ash in Stella's arms. It's a pretty beautiful, pretty sad, like, love story to end it off. So yeah, it's got everything. It's a pretty solid movie. Let's get into what everyone else says and what I have to say. So this wasn't a huge hit movie, so I'm probably not even going to talk about it that much. It's fine if we don't go super in depth. It's pretty solid. It's pretty mediocre though. Like, I'm not going to say it's great. I don't know. So while 30 Days a Night offers a few thrills, it ultimately succumbs to erratic execution. They don't execute this that well, honestly. I don't even know how to explain it, really. I don't even know what they could have done better. It just is what it is. It's a very mixed to average movie. It's a very mixed bag. I would probably give this a D to C, most likely a D. I don't know. Like, as much as I want to like a movie like this, the aesthetics are really cool. Like, the way the vampires look are pretty fucking gnarly and pretty sick. But it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of plot holes here, a lot of things. The vampires moving with supernatural speed in some attacks, but ponderous slowness in others. It's just kind of the logic of how this film takes place. I guess that's more of the weakness than others. Danny Houston kind of got singled out for being quite convincing as the vampire leader. The film's well made, well photographed, and plausibly acted. It's better than it needs to be. Like, it's more than sufficient for a horror movie fan. It's just some of the executions, some of the things that happen. Like, why the fuck, when they lit a fire, a literal source of light, a huge source of light, did they not burn? They weren't affected by it. If you even get, like Marlowe was literally standing in the depths of this fire, and somehow this man didn't get burnt or anything. What is going on here? There's a lot of inconsistencies in that aspect, but that doesn't really take away from, like, the cinematography, the directing, the pretty decent acting from this. It's a little illogical at times. It's still a really dope movie. That's going to do it, honestly. I don't have much to say about this film. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it has been your boy GZTV. Future Metro Boomin is dropping, and obviously March Madness has been going on all day, so we will be talking about any good games from that. So, peace out, everyone.